I'm sure we all have heard stories about old man strength. I'm going to share one about my father in a minute, but make sure you tell me of any stories you have involving old man strength in the comments. Now, old man strength can have a pretty diverse definition, but I would define it as a strength beyond what we would expect an older man to be capable of. Now, we have those extreme examples like Rodney Hahn, who at 55 years of age broke the world record for the most pull-ups in 24 hours, completing 6,737 pull-ups in that 24-hour time period. And George Hood, who at the age of 60 set 2 world records for doing the plank. The first was planking continuously for 10 hours and 10 seconds, and the second was for holding a plank position for 18 hours, 10 minutes, and 10 seconds over a 24-hour time period. Then on the other end of the scale, we have those acts of old man strength that amaze us on a more personal level. Now, my dad is in his 80s and he has Parkinson's. Last year was the first year he started to walk with a cane. Now, last summer, he asked me to come out and help him rebuild part of their deck that was starting to rot. And this included a flight of stairs leading up from the backyard to the deck. We removed the old stairs and got to work. Dad did, well, scare me a bit as he chose to run the table saw. A shaky old man running this table saw. But he's my dad and I'm not going to tell him what to do. By day 3, he was done, with only enough energy left to set up a chair in the backyard. And, while he's my dad and I wouldn't tell him what to do, I'm his son, and he would tell me what to do, and that was his job. We finished the deck the same day and cleaned up all the scrap lumber, but I didn't have enough room in the truck for everything, so I left the old stairs and decided to come back for them in a couple weeks. Now, these stairs were well made, just like my dad made everything. Solid wood stringers, treads, and risers. So I would guess they weighed about 300 plus pounds. Kind of awkward, but I was sure I could drag them over to the truck and get them up into the box. Now, I came back in a couple weeks to grab the stairs, and as soon as my dad saw me in the backyard, he came out to help. I told him I didn't need any help, but he was quite insistent, concerned that I might mark up his lawn, and he was probably right. So he put down his cane and grabbed his end of the stairs. Now, I was scared just walking with him and petrified when it came time for him to step off the curb. And despite all of my fears, it was really rather anticlimactic. At the truck, I figured I'd have to set my end on the truck and go help my dad with his end. But there he was, lifting his end of the stairs up over his head so he could dump them over the side of the box into the truck. And this blew me away. It takes a lot of strength for anyone to get something this awkward, this heavy, from their waist to up over their head, let alone a guy in his 80s with Parkinson's. And that, to me, is the pure definition of old man strength. Now, when it comes to old man strength, is there any parallels between a guy like my dad and the more extreme example of Rodney Hahn, the pull-up master? Now, Rodney is a military man, a fitness trainer, and enthusiast. Well, currently Rodney's record has been broken. He is in training, confident he can regain his world record. Now, my dad never doubted he could still run a table saw or work with me for 2 days on the deck. He didn't hesitate to come out and help me carry those stairs to the truck. He didn't even question if he could lift them up over into the truck box. It was me that had the doubt. I doubted him. My father has worked with his hands his whole life and has confidence what he can accomplish with them, even as age and illness takes its toll. The confidence that we gain from the time spent living our lives enables us to do things that others looking in from the outside might think to be an impossible superhuman feat. Old man strength comes from the confidence that you have when you need to get something done, no matter who may doubt you. And I have released this t-shirt available on Teespring to remind all those who may doubt to beware of old man strength, because it will keep working out while having fun. This is Lawrence from Fit and 50. I'll talk to you again in the next one.